Here are 3 light stands that I've been using when I'm doing travel photography and filming. These 2 are Ulanzi. This one is kind of a no-name brand, but I have 2 of these, and I'll put links to all of these stands in the description section if you're interested. But these have been what I travel with mostly because of how light they are and how sturdy they are. So this one right here has been the sturdiest, also one of the cheapest, and it's all kind of plastic hinges, some metal, and it goes fairly high, and it has these clips, releases that usually you don't want to have these plastic ones because they're not gonna last very long. But I've had some pretty big modifiers on this stand, and it's lasted so far, and I have it all the way open too because I want to have it max. So this one has been good so far, but it's flimsy and it gets damaged easily in my bag. This next one here is the more expensive one. This is the Ulanzi MT49. This one's carbon fiber. It's really well made and it looks nice, it looks pretty, but I've noticed that it's not as sturdy as this cheaper one, but it's still really good for small modifiers. This is also from Ulanzi. This is one of my favorites because of how low it gets, and it has leg extensions like that, but this is, the quality of this is a pretty big step backwards compared to this one. These 2 are more similar. This one goes taller, but this one has the same kind of issue with these plastic releases that extends the pole. Those aren't going to last very long, but I found this to be a very convenient travel light stand. But when I'm having heavy modifiers or heavier lights on these, they require sandbags, and when I'm traveling, I don't have sandbags. I got to use water bags. I have previous videos where I demonstrated the kind of bags I have on this to weigh it down. And you should put sandbags on all of your light stands regardless. But when I'm traveling and I'm really light, and I'm not in a heavily trafficked area where there's a lot of people going around, sometimes for my travel photography, I do portraits, and I'm in one room isolated, one person comes in at a time or a couple people come in at a time to do the photo, and then they leave. So I'm not as worried about somebody hitting the light stand. But I wanted to see if there was anything robust out there that has the same size footprint and maybe a little heavier so that doesn't require a sandbag. And that is this right here. This is the Manfrotto MERF, MERF. And this one is quite similar to the Lowell light stands I used to have back when I was only using tungsten lights and the heavy wattage lights. But this one is, as you can see, when fully collapsed, it's the same length as these ones, are very similar. So this can fit in check-in luggage, a standard check-in luggage, and that's how I transport these. I don't have a special light stand bag for this because those are kind of expensive. I just use a normal luggage that you can just find at any luggage store, and then I wrap this around with some of my clothing, and that's how I stuff it in. But the difference is the build quality and the weight. So this does weigh significantly more than these 3. So I don't know how many of these I can fit in because there is weight limits that I have to deal with when I'm traveling on air. But you can see here the build quality. This is a plastic knob, but everything else is metal. And this is a really solid piece of metal here. And then the pin here, very solid. If you're familiar with the Lowell, those OG light stands, this is the same kind of build quality. It's very good. Here are the specs. It goes up to 89 inches. Folded length is 20 inches and the load capacity is 9 pounds. So far in my tests, I haven't taken it on a job yet. That's why it looks quite pristine. But this is gonna go on my next job, either a video documentary job or photography. If I have a complaint about it, I'll make another video but I am liking this so far. Now, when I'm doing local shoots, local photography, or documentary work that I can have a vehicle and it's in my location, I'm probably not going to use these because I have much sturdier light stands and C stands that I use. But this is only for when I'm traveling on air and I need to stay really light.